Hi, I have no idea what the audience for this will be, if there even will be an audience. I've thought about making a mini tutorial slash explainer of Lubomir's music for a while because there's not very much of that about. He has very few students. The only professional recordings of his pieces are by him. He doesn't have much representation, which is very sad. Anyway, and yeah, and someone recently commented that they might like to see such a thing, so why not? Now's the right time. So I'm going to make several videos where I go through various different sections of the Pockets of Light piece, and I explain like what the notes are, how you play them, and I'll try to give some performance details. Really, the performance details are the main thing. So the notes for Pockets of Light are quite simple. Took me a month to learn them, commit them more or less to memory. It would take an experienced pianist a week or less, to be honest. It's not that complicated note-wise, but the piece is far more than the notes. So 2 years ago, I spent a little bit of time learning the notes, and well, I should preface all of this by saying Lubomir himself offers lessons, and really this is the best thing for you to do if you really want to learn his music. There's no barrier to entry. You don't have to be some whiz kid. I was not, and I still am not, a whiz kid. I barely passed my grade 5 in piano, like 100 was the pass mark, and I got 100. So you don't have to be great. Just shoot him a message on his email. You can find him online, and he does do lessons. Sorry, excuse me, my phone fell. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, so I recorded myself just playing the piece with all the notes correct. That was 3 years ago now. And he said, "Oh, great, Nathan. Thank you for being interested in my music and for learning the notes, but everything else is wrong." And it was really wrong. And it was a further 2 years after knowing the notes that I was actually able to say, I can kind of play this piece. That'll probably be another 5 years or something until I can really play the piece. So, yeah, the other stuff is everything, and I should probably now talk about very briefly, what is this other stuff. So, continuous music is a new genre of piano music. It's also a philosophy, really, more than anything else. It's, at the moment, professionally performed only by him, the creator, Lubomir. He started out when he was 20-something. He's 75-ish now, so he's been doing this a bit of a lone wolf for quite a long time. He's extremely spiritual about it, and that's actually quite important. So I'm not a particularly spiritual person, I'm an atheist, whatever, but I mean, he can explain his philosophy better than I can, and there are some YouTube videos of him trying to do this, but essentially there's a lot to be said about the way you contact the piano with your mind without really feeling it, but also feeling it at the same time. It sounds very fuzzy, and it maybe even sounds laughable, some of the things you might hear him say, but there is real merit to it. He can do what he can do what he does only because of his philosophy. And it undeniably is the backbone of his technique. When you play a piece of continuous music, really, you should have your eyes closed. You should perceive the song rather than play the notes. You should feel the piano through your fingers, but not feel your fingers themselves. You should not feel any tension in the body or in the mind. You should be able to kind of immerse yourself in the piece as if the piece is playing itself and you are just maybe not a spectator, but somebody at a certain distance who is still in control of what's going on. Something along those lines. I can't say that I do this myself because I'm not him, I'm nowhere near as good as him, but trying to embrace aspects of his philosophy into my playing has significantly improved my playing, so don't knock it. May as well start talking about the piece itself now. So Pockets of Light, he improvised it during a studio performance recording with the Erased Tapes album. There are 2 professional recordings of this piece. They're slightly different. You can ask him for the notes for the different versions. He can't give you them because he improvised them. And how he improvised such an amazing piece, I don't know. I have no improvisation skills whatsoever. So the piece is very flexible, is the point, because it was improvised, it always was improvised. I'm going to walk you through the essential notes that were given to me. You don't have to play exactly this, you can add variations if you are creative with music, which I am not. You can do whatever the hell you want. Only the vague ideas of the piece need to be maintained. The specific notes perhaps don't matter so much. So where did I get the notes? I feel obliged to plug his scorebook. I'm not going to open it and show you it because I don't know where I stand with copyright and all of that, but let me show you it for real. Lubomir Melnik, Continuous Music Collective Works. It's still available for purchase. He's got 6 pieces in there. Pockets of Light is one of them. He has a sketch of a score for it. He has scores for other pieces as well, which you can find on his web store. So that's where I learned the basic structure for notes.